There's a current epidemic of what I like to call black supremacy. Simple as that. Now, what the mass media propaganda machine is pushing is that white supremacy is at an all-time high. But the reality is nobody is getting away with the supremacist nonsense more than black folks, especially in America. So I like to highlight these things in order to not only bring awareness to them, but also to deconstruct and to eradicate them from the human family, because they're holding us back. They're holding the same people who are complaining back. You know, as hard it is to decipher this, the person who is hurt the most by these types of messages are other black people. The ones who buy into these ideas, the ones who start to infantilize themselves, the ones who start to essentially feel that they truly are victims, can't do anything about their lives, and therefore they don't become productive members of their own lives as well as the grander society. So that being said, let's get into this video. I have not watched it. So, you know, some of these I watched a little bit in advance, but others I just say, you know what? I'm sure that we will have plenty of talking points here. So without further ado, let's get into it.
And another thing I want to say, I think that black people are superior. We are superior. Everything that we do, we dominate it. Every little thing. Some of the best entertainers are black. Sports is full of black people. We have invented everything. Self-lubricating engine, airplanes.
If you know me, you know this. I can't let BS just slide by like that. I can't let it slide smooth like diarrhea. I'm sorry for the visual, but the doo-doo ain't go move like that. No. Sorry, sis. Okay. Now I always like to start off with the hypocrisy element. Imagine, you know, the shoe is on the other foot. Somebody comes out and is like, white people are superior. We're better at everything. We built everything. We do everything better. Imagine that today in the year of our Lord 2025, the sort of outroar there would be in that type of messaging. But instead, this right here is normalized. You know, you barely blink an eye to it now because you're so desensitized. Here's another black woman talking about white people being inferior, as if that was not the basis of most genocide throughout the world. Such messaging as that, but it's just let go. You know, yeah. Thanks to the Farrakhan's of the world, we just let that slide by. But I also wanted to make this very, very clear. Anytime you have to assert your dominance, anytime you have to make it clear that you are superior, whether it's in your personal life or at a societal level, right? I am better than you. You are worse than me. It's a sign of insecurity. You are insecure. You feel inadequate. You don't feel like you're good enough. And so you have to bring somebody down a few notches who you actually believe is better than you. Yikes. You actually believe they're better than you. That's why you're pointing to them directly. That's why you're compensating in all these ways. Look, I am African queen. Hear me roar. You roar because you feel insecure. You feel little. You feel like you are lesser than. Because people with a healthy self-esteem, a healthy self-worth, they don't go there. They don't need to articulate it. They know they're that guy or that gal. They know. They don't have to tell you I'm him. They know. Jordan didn't have to come out and tell you he was the greatest. That's why Jordan will forever be my GOAT. He didn't have to come out and say I'm the greatest of all time. Like LaScam James. Be offended if you want. He didn't. He let his game speak for him. So.
Cell phones. Everything. Stoplights. Everything.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, let's let these lies perpetuate.
Airplanes, cell phones, everything. Stoplights, everything. We are superior, and they know that.
Just making shit up.
They know that, which is why they're trying to keep us down.
Imagine just making stuff up like that. The audacity.
Which is why they try to make us feel like we want shit. Whole time they ain't shit. Y'all could never, ever make me hate my people. Never. Which is why I don't condone interracial relationships.
I'll put money on it that if not for her parents, then her parents, somebody was mixing. Because she's considered light-skinned, by the way, right? She's a light-skinned black. Somebody was mixing. That's no secret. Grandpappy was dabbling and dibbling in the chocolate. Or grandmammy, You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead. We still got a minute and a half of this. I'll let it play out best as I can, but this is a lot to take.
Because you ain't doing nothing but diluting your bloodline. That's all you're doing. Wow. But my issue with black people is we don't know how superior we are. Black women don't understand how beautiful they are. You don't understand if you just simply wear your natural hair and take care of yourself, you would be chef's kiss.
That's true. Like take off the weave.
Because we are mother.
Take off the lashes.
Mother. The whole world wants to be us. Whole world. Nobody's better than us. Nobody. This ain't got nothing to do with me being racist. It's just the truth.
Don't you love how they always go there? I know I promised, but damn it. It's not about being no, you literally just spewed some of the most racist verbiage that you ever could. Let me put on the other side. You know, black people, you know, they always, you know, try to rob us and steal from us and, you know, beat us up and kill us. You know, the reason they do that is because they hate how we're better than everybody else. We are the superior. We're the original. Like, we are literally the creators of everything. We did it. Now, fortunately, if white folks were to be saying this, there would be more accuracy as far as the inventions go and things of that nature, right? Superiority, that doesn't exist. Now, I do believe that there are individuals who maximize on their humanity, but that's at an individual level. But there's no one superior race than the other. We're different, you know, as ethnicities, etc. But yeah, if you were to equate in the marketplace, it might tell you different. But anyway, you just said it all. So let's see what your backtrack is now. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just saying we're a better race.
It is an honest to God truth, which is why black men are a novelty to y'all women of other races and ethnicities. Y'all know what we got. Y'all know exactly what we got. It's just we don't know what we got.
Yeah, y'all don't.
That's why it's a problem.
You're right.
That's why we're not able to organize.
Y'all don't. Y'all don't.
One day we will, because one thing about these younger folks, they waking up. And it ain't gonna always be like this.
They're waking up on TikTok. They wake up, they scroll. That's what these younger folks are doing.
Nope. These younger people, even in my generation, I'm a millennial. And we waking up. Slowly but surely. So y'all can think that y'all can delete our history and delete everything that we ever known all you want to. We're gonna rest assured. We're gonna fucking rest assured that our kids knew we were here and knew what we fought for.
It probably won't exist because y'all keep unaliving them before they even get here.
You better bet your last bottom dollar on that.
Okay. Yeah, that was wow. Yeah, I didn't know today we're just going to be getting just full-blown racism. Just full-blown. Not even just a little deviation. Just full-blown. Now, at the very least, I can give her that she has her own hair. What else? No fake lashes. Likely not the BBL situation. Makeup wasn't that of a transformer. So those are pluses, right? I always want to start in the positive, and then we'll make our way to the rest of the argument. So yeah, we have that. But then there's the other side, which is everything wrong with this. First and foremost, by clinical definition, everything that you espoused and the way in which you got your message across, that was the definition of racism. The literal definition of racism. You know, it's funny to me when I hear this thing of like black people superior, black people did everything, etc. First and foremost, if that was true, then you would just do it over. Like the people who believe themselves to be so superior and, you know, greater than the other would actually go out there and just build something. They go out there and build a superior society instead of crying for the society that they actually view as superior and begging them for free shit, right? That's how that would work. Also, and this one's really going to be a dagger in the jugular, but you would have won whatever war it was you partook in. So it's like, you know, talk about, oh, America, stolen land, right? Yeah, that's never used in relationship to like the African people who now live in the plots of land they are. They didn't get there by accident, right? Spreading throughout Africa, the close to 2 billion people that are on the continent. Yeah, there was ancestors who conquered certain spaces, territories, and occupied that land. So when we take it to the West, the difference is they just occupied more land more efficiently, and they had a better system that worked a lot better. This is just the facts. They won. Again, sorry to the Native American folk, the indigenous folk. Y'all were fighting each other on this very same land. It just so happens that these guys won. They won. In the same way, the African slavers, those who are selling their fellow Africans, or not so fellow, I guess, Africans to these slave traders, the reason why they were doing that is because they believed that they owned you as property because they won. That was like a universal theme that was just accepted. I think it's disgusting. I hate slavery in every context. And I pray that we continue to fight against it in the modern context. But superiority means that you're winning. So now it's not just, the brute force war. It's the ideological war. It's, the innovation war, etc. If you're so brilliant, then you win that way. You win by executing. You win by creating. You win by innovating. You win by building. You win by infrastructure. You don't win by making shit up. Filming yourself talking about we did all these things. None of this is true. Can I just say it? Damn it, let me say it. None of what the hell she's talking about is true. Some of the inventions that she is speaking of, we can track back to many different places. The invention of some of these things at their foundation. But even like the internet or, computer, etc., those technologies we got from the Israeli army. Not the little hat people. Yeah, we got from the Israeli army. And then we built upon it and built upon it. A lot of different technologies were shared. Some were developed in Asia, in South Korea. Some were developed in Japan, right? Certain ways of doing things. Oh, but our inventions were stolen. Oh, they stole our history. You know who writes history? Look at the word. It says his story. Who is he? The winner. The winner writes the book. So all that matters is what you're producing in the now. Yes, history matters as far as understand it and the context of it, and perhaps some of the effects it may have on your current. But if I look back my entire life to what we used to be making shit up, like, most of these folks are, excuse my language. If I continue to look back that way, that means I don't believe I'm able to do anything in the now, which means I don't actually believe I'm superior. I don't believe I'm really all that. In order for you to do anything, it's like people like to talk, mess about me or people who are actually doers, right? It's not because I'm so impressive, but it's like, it's so much easier to talk about the doer than it is to just do the thing. It's much easier to talk about the guy building, the platform, building his social media than it is actually doing so yourself. So you tear them down. You tear the business owner down. You tear the person going out there to get, their real estate license or going out there to trade school, whatever. You tear these people down, but you don't actually do a damn thing. That's the same mentality. The white man, but he's out there doing shit. He's out there building things. They're out there innovating and creating. Then just do the same thing. That's the solution. Build. Be productive. Get off your behind. Stop making excuses. It's nobody else's fault. You have the ability. You have the opportunity. You are living in a world where you as a black person have a car. You have a cellular device. I'm trying to bring her back up because there you are. You're in I don't know, maybe you're on the bus. I don't know. But if you have a bus, you have a clean environment likely. You have fresh water. You have food at your disposal. Look at you. This is you. You're taking care. You're not living in Rwanda, South Sudan. You're not living in the DRC. You're here. You're entitled. You're spoiled. You're living off the backs of the work of the same white man that you continue to bring down. And you can innovate and create and build on top of that. But instead of doing that, you want to complain. And you want to call me a sellout. I'm okay with that. And now they're being okay with that. They don't care what you say anymore. They don't care you call them a racist. They just move on. And you're the one left stuck. You're the one left in the very same place that you were, wondering where life went. Where did it go? Where did it go? It went along with your damn excuses and your victimhood. You are the solution to the problem. Simple.